Hey, I'm Macy Burning, and this is my book report. My book is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. The setting of the story is in New Orleans around 1950. The author chose this setting because she said it was often misunderstood, and there were a lot of secrets and distrust between families, and she wanted to capture that in that book. The narrator of this book is a girl named Josie. Josie is around 20 years of age, and her life is not so easy. For one, her mother is a prostitute. Now you see, prostitutes in the 1950s aren't like the prostitutes you see today. The prostitutes then dressed more elegant and like not as obvious as you see today. I don't know how to give you an example of that, but you should know what a prostitute looks like nowadays. In the 1950s, they had places called whorehouses. I don't know if they still have them now, but back then they were called whorehouses. This is where Josie's mother stayed whenever she was 7. Her mother had Josie and then joined Willie's whorehouse. Willie is Josie's mother's boss, and Willie essentially raised Josie. Her mother was not there for her all the time, and she just pretty much chose not to be part of her life. Josie loves to read and is very, very smart. She went to this little bookstore a lot when she was little, and the owner knew her mother, so she knew how rough her life was, and his name was Charlie Marley. And he decided to take her in, and he transferred his office upstairs of the bookstore into a bedroom for her to sleep in, and he also gave her a job at the bookstore. Charlie has a son named Peter who is Josie's age, and he works at the bookstore with Josie, and they are very good friends. Sometime in the book, Charlie goes crazy and Peter takes care of him. There's not really much to say about that. Josie's mother has really never been there for her and has always treated her like crap. But Josie still loves her and cares about her more than anything in the world. And so when Josie's mother moves to Hollywood with a man named Cincinnati, she's kind of upset because the man abuses her mother and he gets into a lot of trouble, which in the book, one time, he beat her so bad that she had to go to the hospital, and that you can see why she doesn't want her mother to have anything to do with him. Josie is now trying to attend a college at a school named Smith, but she cannot afford it and is relying on scholarships and maybe some extra money from Willie to get her education that she really deserves. One day, a man by the name of Forrest Hearn walks into the store and buys some books. Something about this man catches Josie's attention, and she later finds out that this man died that night that he went to the bookstore by a heart attack. She is drawn to this because he seemed perfectly healthy and fine earlier that day, and can't help but to be curious if it was really a heart attack that killed him. I highly suggest anyone to read this book in probably the ages of 7th grade and up. It just has so many heart-wrenching moments, and it is just you can get hooked to it so quickly. It is so good. I just loved it personally. It was great, and I couldn't put it down. It was so good. Thanks for watching, I guess.